I hate that he's reaching for her.
Yeah, his eyes are about to.
Oh no, his eyes.
Some thoughts probably should not be said out loud, but I recorded mine. Hey guys, it's Mara and welcome back to the podcast where I share my thoughts on the internet with all of you. It's part 2.
It's part 2 time, baby.
Allie's here. It's spooky season.
Yes.
You guys had to wait a whole week to listen to this.
Yes, on a cliffhanger.
I'm so sorry,
The
but
mom
it's
is
time.
shiesty.
Yeah, the mom knows something.
Yeah, she
And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, go listen to last week's episode.
It was so good.
It's spooky season. We have a whole month of spook.
Yes.
But it's not a wholesome spook this time.
No
We're
wholesome
like
spooks.
going in.
Yes. What is it what you said is
Straight spooking.
Straight spooking. We're straight spooking.
Straight spooking.
That's it.
Let's just go.
You ready?
Get right into
dive
it.
Right back into the story, guys.
I think we should.
Okay, I'll read the last paragraph, like little paragraph, so that way we're a little
caught up. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll recap a tiny bit. The wife's crazy. She's smiling, peeking at poor Benjamin, and he's really concerned. And he's like, he's exhausted at this point, and he's like, I better call her mom, even though I don't like this lady. And then she's like, being a little shiesty, like I said,
weird on the phone. I'm suspicious of the mom.
Yeah, and she's like real short about it, like she knows something, but she's like, I don't want anything to do with it. Go get professional
Yeah, she
help.
really wanted to get off that phone call.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know,
something's going on.
So yeah, the wife's really freaking creepy.
I don't like her. She's creeping. She's staring. She's got those crazy eyes.
Yes. Okay. The last paragraph read was, after a while, I almost gave up until I remembered her last words to me. Seek professional help. She said those words with a bit of urgency. I could have just been grasping at straws, but no. I was sure her voice had changed ever so slightly when she said that, as if though they were very important words. Okay.
You swallowed and it was really dramatic.
Oh.
I'm in.
Okay.
I'm so ready. I have my spooky blanket.
Yes.
Let's see what happens. I provided
spooky Halloween blankets.
I need to know what happens.
Okay.
I'm itchy, but I also think I have a spider bite on my ankle.
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know. I'm just...
She's itching to know the rest.
I need to know what's going on. Okay. I need to talk about this for a second.
Okay.
How do you think this is going to end?
Ooh.
Do we think it's a possession or?
Well, this is a Reddit story, so it could be a cliffhanger.
Oh no!
Yeah,
we got to read the comments.
100%.
Yeah,
we'll read a few. But do you think that she'll become unpossessed? Do you think we might have a happy ending?
No, probably not.
Yeah, you're right. Okay,
it's gonna be creepy though. I can feel it. Something's going on. All right,
onward. Okay. What had she meant? I assumed she'd been referring to medical professionals, but maybe she was referring to someone else, someone that she didn't for some reason feel comfortable saying directly. Or maybe I was just desperate. I wanted for Chris to get home, and after a very long and exhausting conversation with him and Rebecca, I convinced them that Lynn truly needed psychiatric help. I did tell them everything. I wasn't prepared to go into it yet, but I told them about our last encounter, how she'd hidden in the bathroom peeking at me from the closet. They were obviously shocked, but thankfully they believed me. They too just wanted to help her. Still, they didn't think it was all that serious. Weird maybe, but not dangerous. They kept saying that Lynn had to be playing some kind of weird joke. Maybe for YouTube, Rebecca offered, if only half-heartedly. Chris didn't think we should involve the police just yet. He offered instead to go with me, and I readily accepted. He reasoned that talking to her, trying to coax her into going willingly was the best resource. I agreed to do it his way. At least I wouldn't be going into the house alone. We drove over this morning, just after breakfast. There was no way I was going at night. When we pulled into the driveway, my stomach began doing somersaults. Her car wasn't there, but I still didn't let my guard down.
Okay, I'm a little bit happy that her car was not there.
And that his brother's going with him.
Yeah, that part definitely good.
Yeah.
But because the car is not there, maybe she wasn't at the house the whole time, walking around,
But
creeping.
remember, her car wasn't at the brother's house. They were like,
Where?
she didn't take an Uber or
Where is
anything.
she?
Yeah.
Ew.
So I thought that she literally just like creepily, like Michael Myers, like walked there. Like
That's what I
Halloween,
thought too.
You know what I mean?
Like on all fours,
Oh, she's
like,
like a dog again. Yeah.
creeping. Well, they said it was like 40 some minutes
Yeah.
away too. Ew.
Oh yeah.
Like
that's
in the
right.
middle of the night in the woods, like crawling
In the dark.
around.
In the dark. Like
Yeah.
imagine all the street lights on and like she just passes under.
She's like
each
down the
one.
road, smiling the whole way there.
Ugh.
I'm not gonna be
Why
able
are
to
we
drive
doing
home.
this to
I
ourselves?
don't know.
Oh yeah. I'm so sorry. I'll pack you some cookies. It'll be fine.
I'm gonna listen to like Kesha on the way
Good
home.
idea.
Like
as you
something
should.
happy.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh God, I'll make sure you're alive. Text me.
Okay.
Okay. The front door was ajar, and for a split second, I thought we'd see her eyes staring through the gap. I was shaking and starting to sweat. Chris, however, was fine. He waited for me to open the door, his hands in his pockets, like he was going on a freaking stroll through the park. I envied his ignorance.
Yeah, me too.
I pushed the door open and was immediately hit with the stench of rot. Chris smelled it too, and he walked in the house behind me with his nose scrunched up. What do you guys use to clean the floors around here? Crap? Chris mumbled. Shut up, I said, my eyes darting around for any signs of Lynn. The house was deadly quiet and dark. Being 10 in the morning, all the curtains were closed up tight, refusing to allow any sunlight inside. If I hadn't left it just 2 days prior, I'd have thought the house was abandoned. We moved through each room, carefully checking any place that she might hide, occasionally calling her name. What the heck are you looking under the couch for? Chris asked, eventually. Aren't we looking for your wife? He was looking at me like I was a moron. Let's just go upstairs, I whispered. He shook his head, but followed me up the stairs to check the bathroom and spare bedroom. On the way up, my shoes crunched over a piece of glass that looked like it to be littered over a few of the steps.
Okay. I am just like upset about like the rot smell.
Yeah.
I don't like this. I just
It's never
I wasn't ready.
good. It's never good. And it's
No.
only been 2 days.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
what is it?
We're going to find out. Okay. I noticed that one of Lynn and my wedding portraits that hung on the wall along the staircase had been smashed. The frame hung...
Sorry, I'm just like, what?
The frame hung crookedly, all the glass removed. I stared at the picture, a lump forming in my throat. We had taken the photo just after leaving the church, after saying our vows. She looked so beautiful in her white gown. I looked at Lynn's beautiful face. I never dreamt her face would ever be a source of terror for me. We climbed into the rest of the steps and checked the spare bedroom, but it looked completely untouched. I was hesitant to go in the bathroom, my fear from that night coming back to me all at once. Chris noticed and offered to go in by himself, but I couldn't let him do that. So we walked in together, checking the closet and the shower. The bathroom looked as if it hadn't been touched since the night I left. I don't think she's here, Ben. Why don't you pack some clothes and we'll try coming back tomorrow or something, Chris said. I nodded and went to our bathroom and shoved some clothes into a duffel bag. When I checked inside our closet, I came across a source of the smell.
No.
And gagged. Chris took one look and lost all color in his face. He had to go stand by the stairs to get away from the sight and smell. I gazed down in shock at what lay inside my bedroom closet. Soaking into the rug were at least a dozen eyeballs, all carefully laid out in pairs. Some were as large as a quarter, while others were as tiny as a marble. I stared down at the eyes she'd collected from small animals, and I wondered how she'd gotten them and shuddered at the thought. That took a turn. I wasn't expecting that.
I honestly thought it was going to be some type of animal.
I thought it was
Like she turned into a monster type.
I thought it
thing.
was going to be like you've never probably seen it, the first season of American Horror Story. I think you only watched the witch one. Correct?
Yeah.
The first season, like, basically the girl's like, you don't know that she's like a ghost, and then you find her like rotted dead body somewhere.
Oh.
And I was like, well, maybe that's what's going on.
Like maybe
But-
like she died and
yeah, and I was like, this isn't her. or something. But now
I figured-
that's not it.
I figured she's getting like possessed by this thing, which I want to talk about for a second. But like, hold on. She's
Okay.
getting like possessed by this thing,
Okay.
and it's like eating animals in a way, I guess.
The eyes though.
Well,
Are
I
not
mean,
good?
I guess something about the creeping and the staring.
Yeah,
I
she
guess
is staring a lot.
I don't really know. But the possession thing I want to talk about real quick.
Okay.
Because you said it was like in the last episode.
Okay.
You think it's attached to him.
Okay.
What if, because of the
Ooh.
wedding photo being like smashed or something, it actually is like in love with her or something? Doesn't
Hmm.
like the idea of that they were like married or something, wants him to like get out.
Yeah, like, see ya.
Yeah, but then I guess it doesn't make sense that it's creeping on him, like
Yeah,
showing
because
up
he's
at the house.
already gone.
Yeah, so I don't.
Maybe he just doesn't want him to come back, though. Maybe he's like, okay, this guy's still here, though.
Oh, like get your stuff, get out.
Like, he wants him gone.
Okay,
Maybe. Thoughts.
I don't know. Yeah, just
Thoughts, guys.
a theory that I had, but I'm really not okay with the eyes.
Yeah, me neither.
I
I wasn't expecting it.
I figured an animal though, so I'm like a little bit happy about that.
But
Not that I'm
also,
happy
it's
at
just a
all, but
It's a bunch of eyes, so, like, it was a lot of animals,
yeah,
unfortunately. All right.
that's what she's been doing.
That's why she's so tired looking. Okay.
She's been busy.
Yeah, right.
At least they're in Paris.
Yeah.
She's organized.
She's type A.
She's calculated.
Okay.
Let's go.
Man, I thought I'd had it bad with Becca's shoe addiction, but F me. Your wife in here collecting eyeballs, Chris said, gagging. Ben, I think we should go, he called from the hall. I'm getting nauseous. All right, I grabbed my duffel bag and shut the closet door on my new nightmare. I stepped out into the hall and took a deep breath of air. I could taste the rot in my tongue, and I couldn't help but gag. Who the heck lines up eyeballs in the closet like that? Chris mumbled. I tried to tell you she needs help, I said. She doesn't need help, Ben. She needs a freaking exorcist, he said.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. You coming or what? I can't stand the smell anymore. His words died in his throat. His eyes grew wide with fear. I didn't ask him why. I could feel it. Someone was watching me.
No.
And I didn't think it was the eyes in the closet.
No.
I turned around, my eyes slowly scanning the bedroom. Chris, I whispered, as I finally saw what we'd missed. Under the bed, curled on her side, watching us with the excitement of kid on Christmas morning, was my wife.
Oh, so the car's gone. She's there.
The car's yeah.
Ew.
She held her hands together just under her chin, and they were shaking eagerly. Now that she knew she'd been found, I could hear the quiet noise she was making, a sort of hiccuping sound in her throat, as if the excitement was just too much for her. It was unnerving, to say the least. Wide eyes and that same huge smile.
Oh my god. My stomach feels not great.
Yeah.
Ew.
Everything in me told me to run, but I forced it away. This was my wife. No matter how twisted, she was still the woman I married. I had to help her. If he would, he could, ladies. Or wait, what is it? If he could,
If he wanted to, he would.
That's it.
I think. Is it?
Yeah, if he wanted to, he would.
If he wanted to, he would.
He stayed.
I'd
be like, bye, John.
Yeah,
like, see ya.
You're on your own.
Yeah, bye. Okay. Lynn, I said softly. She didn't respond, but her head bobbled back and forth into quick little movements as if she were nodding. Ew. Baby, I just want to help, okay? Can you let me do that? I asked. I had taken a single step forward, approaching her like some kind of dangerous animal. I love you, Lynn, I said softly. Taking another step closer, she let a tiny moan escape her wide open mouth, and I had to resist the urge to run. Her shoulders were starting to quiver, and her eyes grew as large as saucers.
I hate it.
I crouched down so I could see her better, and I immediately saw the blood. Her hands were covered in it. They trembled more the closer I got, as if she had barely been able to contain herself. Lynn, are you hurt? You're bleeding, I said. She bobbled her head again, her bloody fingers moving up and down, as if playing an invisible piano. They occasionally grazed her chin, leaving smears of blood on her skin. I wanted to recoil in disgust. The smell that was coming off of her was revolting. I could feel the vomit trying to climb up my throat. Her lips were dry and stretched thin, blood seeping between the cracks. I knew she wouldn't come out on her own, but I didn't want to leave her in the state she was in. I scooted closer and reached out to her. Ugh, no. Don't.
So is the brother just standing there?
I guess he's probably like, what the Like, what's happening?
What is going
Yeah,
on?
he's like, I don't want to be here. Okay. All right. I hate that he's reaching for her.
Yeah, his
Right.
eyes are
Yeah.
about to.
Oh, no, his eyes. Okay. The excited hiccuping sounds got louder,
Ugh.
and her hand shook, fingers flexing. It was then that I could see the blood oozing from in between her fingers. Oh my God, Lynn, you're bleeding, I said. Instinctively, I reached out to take her hand. Before I could even touch her, her hand sprang out towards me.
No.
A sharp pain shot through my arm, and I fell back. My arms burned, and I could see the blood dripping down into the carpet. I looked back at her and saw her grinning madly, her fingers clutching a large shard of glass. Oh, Chris isn't in here. You all right in there? Chris asked from behind me.
Wait, did he shut the door?
No, he must have, like, been in the hallway.
Oh,
don't
maybe
know.
he.
Yeah, okay, so I guess they were starting to walk out, and then he felt the eyes on him. And, like, was like,
Yeah, but
scanned the room.
Chris saw her though.
I thought he
Because
did
he
too.
got, like, his eyes got big. Like, he got scared. I thought he was gonna turn into, like, the smiley, scary thing
Ooh.
when his eyes got big. I was like, oh no.
Who knows?
I was like, our man Ben is a goner.
Yeah, right. Okay. I turned my head slightly and nodded to him, cradling my arm to my chest. When I turned back to face Lynn, I saw that her focus had shifted. She wasn't looking at me anymore, and she wasn't smiling either. She was staring past me, her eyes glaring at Chris the way a hungry lion
Oh no.
might stare at an antelope. Her mouth was still hanging open, but it was twisted into a snarl. I got to my feet and began walking backwards down the hall, afraid to take my eyes off her. Are you bleeding? Chris asked. The moment the words left his mouth, Lynn started fast scooting out from under the bed, the glass shard still in her fist. Chris, run, go, I yelled. He must have been too afraid to move because a second later I felt my back bump into him. He was still standing at the top of the stairs staring at the horror that was my wife. Ugh. Lynn had
Oh
crawled
my
completely
God.
out from under the bed
No.
and stood in the bedroom doorway, her face twisted in rage. Her whole body was visibly tense, blood ran down her fingers and onto the floor. Jesus, Lynn, Chris said. You, playing hide and seek? I reached back and pushed him towards the steps. Move, Chris, I said as quietly but firmly as I could. Lynn bobbled her head in fast, sharp motions and began to grin, stretching her mouth open wider
my
and wider so
God.
that her chin seemed to touch her chest. I heard Chris mutter a prayer, and then he was running down the stairs. I stood at the top of the steps, stuck between the love for a woman who clearly needs serious help and self-preservation. I only want to help, I said, choking back tears. Her eyes focused on me once again as she slowly lifted the glass, holding it out in front of her. And then she started sprinting towards me, grinning with other excitement. Thankfully, my body took over and I flew down the stairs, skipping 2 or 3 at a time. I made it to the front door before I felt her leap onto my back, wrapping her arms around my neck, her open mouth next to my ear so that I could hear those terrified hiccup sounds up close. I shook her off me, knocking her to the floor. I felt a searing pain in my back as she went, but I tore open the front door and bolted to my car. Chris was standing in the front yard, talking on his phone with the police. I didn't say a word. I just ran to my car and jumped in. Chris took the hint and followed me, still on the line with 911.
I am so happy that they got out of there.
Agreed.
Like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
I hate that. I hate that.
Ew, she's just like going crazy in that house.
Yeah,
But
maybe
texting
it's
him,
the
like,
hou-
normal?
No, it's not even just the house because she went to the other guy's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's texting normal.
Which is weird. Like,
Yeah.
I love you. Come back.
Yeah. I don't know.
But then you come back to that.
Right. No thanks. Dang. Never look back, people. Never look back. Okay.
No, just leave.
Yeah. I watched the rearview mirror. Sure, I'd seen her there, running after us, but I read that wrong. Okay, hang on. I watched the rearview mirror. Sure, I'd see her there, running after us, but I never did. I went straight to the ER and got 11 stitches in my arm and 3 on my back. The police asked a lot of questions and went back to the house to do a search, but of course, Lynn wasn't there.
Were the eyes there?
I wonder if they told them.
I don't know.
They advised me to stay with a friend or relative for a while and to file a restraining order as soon as I could, but none of those things would matter. Somehow, I just knew. I dropped Chris off at home and went to a motel an hour away. I wanted to put as much distance between me and Lynn as I could. This is where I've been for the last 4 hours. I thought maybe the police would find her. Maybe they get her the help she desperately needs. But now I don't think so, because 40 minutes ago I got a text from an unknown number. Just 3 words. I found you.
No.
And a picture attached. The picture was dark and grainy, but I instantly knew what it was. There was no mistaking my wife's eye. I started typing this out immediately, and I don't know what to do. I'm alone and scared, and I can't help but feel like I'm being watched. The end.
No. The mom knows something.
Yeah. I don't know if there's more parts. The comments say like it looks like there may be more to the story. The scary.
There's got to be something.
Yeah, there has to be. I wonder if there is a picture attached. Sorry. I'm looking, guys.
That picture reminds me of something like actually kind of creepy that has been happening to one of my friends. But
what?
Yeah.
Like creeper?
Ready? Not like creeper, just like really strange. I'm hoping that it's like a scam of some sort.
Oh no.
Okay, are you ready for this?
I am ready.
So my friend Brittany, the
Brittany I'm photographing the wedding of?
Yes. She's definitely safe. But
okay, good.
Yeah, but like
I'll fight somebody.
She's been getting this weird thing. The first one she got was like kind of normal, and it was a text from a random number, and it just said like your DoorDash order has been left like here, and a picture of like a weird like shaky picture of like a DoorDash on someone's step like during the day.
Okay.
So like it kind of looks like someone would send that and then wait for a response back like, oh, that's not mine, and then they would, I'm assuming, try to be some type of scam to like get your bank account information for a refund or like something like that, but then it's not a refund, right?
Yeah.
So she has gotten like some of those, didn't really think much of it besides like block the number, move on, like don't say anything, like it's a scam, you know?
Yeah.
Well, she got this one the other day that she texted me about, and it's like 1 a.m. So like it's real like creepy. She's texting me, she goes, I'm like kind of freaked out because I'm alone tonight, and like her fiance was like on a work trip or something, you know, and she was like, I'm like creeped out, I got this picture and like I've been getting them a lot recently. And I was like, what do you mean a lot? And she's like, well, just like the DoorDash ones.
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay. But she got this one and it was like, your Dasher has arrived or something like that, and it was this dark picture. Like it was like dark outside, and it was like 1 a.m, so it's like that's weird. Like they gotta at least know like the time zone or something to be sending a dark picture like that, you know?
So it was just all dark, like she could make out anything?
You could see a person. So I can show you the picture. I think I still have it. But it was like a dark outline of like a person, but like you can't really see the face. At first I thought it was just like a black picture until I zoomed in, and then I saw the person and my heart literally dropped.
Oh my god.
At like 1 a.m. looking at this, and it was like your Dasher has arrived, and it was like this dark picture of a person standing there.
Oh my goodness.
And it was from like an unknown number, and she's like, yeah, I blocked it. And I'm like, as you should. But she was like, I'm gonna sleep with the lights on tonight.
So in the picture there was no like recognition of her like house or anything?
No, like
okay.
I like told her, I was like, do you recognize the street? Because you could tell it was like street lights, and she goes, my street doesn't have those.
Oh, that's good.
Or at least like where it would have been at, like you can't see like a street light.
Right.
So like it definitely wasn't taken like out front of her house or anything like that.
Oh my gosh.
Like that one, like I know for sure, but it's still like, ew.
She needs to be careful.
Yeah, like I am like pretty certain it's probably like a scam to send to like the elderly, you know? They use DoorDash, but
I've never used DoorDash before, so like I don't know.
But like the picture and like what that guy's describing, like the dark picture, like you can't really make out. Oh, it's disgusting.
Oh, I didn't even see if there was one. All right, we can't find any pictures, but let's go through some of these comments.
Oh yeah, I'm ready for this.
Okay.
I have so many like theories of how this could end.
Okay. The scariest line by far was, maybe I've just gotten better at it.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, that was the one.
Yeah, this person says that it gave them, it made their heart sink.
Yeah, I hated that.
Same. Yeah, I agree. That was like and like I'm talking from like a writer's perspective, that was good.
It was
Like,
really good.
Like it got me. It got us. We reacted really poorly to it.
Terrifying.
Yeah, hated that. Okay.
I want to know what made her get like violent out of nowhere. Because if she was just like peeking and creeping at him for that long, but then out of nowhere she just got violent.
Yeah,
just and like collecting eyes and
just to think it all started from behind a wall, and then it was an island, and then it was
the floor. I hated the floor. Why is she just like crawling around on the floor? Something about like
a trunk.
Yeah. Oh,
a shower curtain.
That was weird. In the closet in the same room for an hour.
Under the bed.
Like, if she really wanted, I think she wanted to collect
in the same bed as her.
Yeah, knowing that was going on. What?
Yeah.
I would be on the moon.
Yeah,
if I could, I'd find a way.
Different universe.
I think Elon Musk went up there or something. I'd be going with him. Take me out. Take me to space.
Ooh, this person has a theory.
I want to hear it.
Have you considered that maybe that's not your wife and it's some like horror thing pretending to be her? Because you said in the beginning that she told you that you creep her out sometimes too. And then she'd been texting you asking where you were during the time you switched off your phone. So maybe the creature is pretending to be you and also doing the same thing to her. Just to guess.
Wait, that's
interesting.
I feel like that could be it, maybe.
That seems like too complex for me.
That is a lot.
It is a lot. I don't know how
I feel like it
work.
has something to do about like jealousy and a possession because like the marriage, like the wedding picture being shattered.
Yeah, it has to. That could be like a foreshadowing thing.
It has to be something.
Right.
With that.
Agreed. This one says throw the whole wife away.
Correct.
Yes.
Get rid of it.
This one says, I think by professional help, her mother meant the U.S. Marines.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's so good. Okay. I was thinking like an exorcist, but is there any more on the mom? Like, can you like, is there like replies to that comment or something?
Not yet, but we'll see.
Okay.
This one says, this is the scariest story I've ever run on here, and I freaking hate myself for reading. Also, I have so many questions.
Yeah,
at first, I thought for sure it had to be a doppelganger or something. But if so, where was your real wife by the end? What the heck was up with those eyes? Did she want yours too?
That's what I
What
think.
else does her mother know? Those are the questions.
The mom has to know something.
Right. Absolutely agreed. So creepy. I had to keep looking over at the supposedly sleeping body next to me, hoping with all my might that I would not find out all the eyes and grinning was looking back at me. She probably found you by the phone you're writing this on, by the way. Ditch it and find a new motel too, maybe in a different state. I'd visit the mother and or any family you can look up to find out what the heck is going on. Just buy burners so you go and check your vehicle for any trackers before you leave. Good luck. We're here for you.
Good luck.
And then this person said, yes, buy burners. Yeah. So
I think going and seeing the mom may be a really good thing.
Oh, there's something.
Unless she gets possessed too, though.
She
or like
knows something. Maybe that's why she's so serious. The daughter's serious. He said that she's usually pretty serious.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they're serious for a reason.
Ooh. Maybe it goes back and forth between them or something, though. I don't know. Okay. I don't like it.
Maybe it's just me, but it almost seems like Lynn never wanted to hurt him. It wasn't until Chris and Ben found Lynn under the bed that she got violent. She wasn't actively predatory until she noticed Chris. The whole time prior to that, she seems to just be watching, holding herself back even. Sure, she's hurt Ben when the guy ran, but only after she was going for Chris. Maybe she's still in there somewhere, perhaps possessed, but still in enough control to not hurt her husband up until that point. Instead, she'd been prying on animals to state whatever dark force is making her this way. Chris was right. It's time for an exorcist. Keep us updated.
I think
she hasn't hurt him.
Yeah, I think that one's the closest to what I believe.
She won't hurt him.
Some type of possession, and she only like lashed out because someone else like saw or something. Yeah. I don't know.
Ugh. Gross.
I know. I don't like the eyes. I really don't. I don't think she wanted to take his eyes then.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you're right. She had the opportunity. She didn't do it.
I know. I'm trying to look for like more predictions.
He's a goner.
He's just gone.
That's why there's no new updated
Oh,
part
this
2.
is talking about the car. It
Ooh.
says, okay, just a thought, but when was the last time you saw your wife's car? You mentioned your car, but you didn't ever mention seeing, going past, or hearing your wife's car. The morning she came by your brother's house and watched you sleep, you didn't mention hearing her car. Your sister-in-law said that your wife stopped by but wasn't driving her car. She thought she took an Uber. You and your brother pulled up to your house. Your wife was inside, but you mentioned that her car wasn't there.
Oh.
Are you sure that your wife wasn't in a car accident killed and you're dealing with a haunting?
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe she was in a car accident or something.
Yeah,
It's
the
not her, like, at
car's-
all.
Yeah, the car hasn't been there this whole time.
Yeah, not
Where's
even,
her
like,
car?
beforehand never mentioned her car.
Yeah.
What if she's
Agreed.
at her mom's?
No.
No?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know,
Maybe.
the mom really wasn't given much.
The car thing is kind of like sketching me out, though.
There's
like
something with the car,
he's
yeah.
mentioned the car a few times, but like there was never any like resolution to the car.
Yeah, like, we found the car here. No.
Yeah. Agreed.
That's weird.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I need your thoughts on this spooky episode.
Yeah, that was a good story.
It was a really
Kudos.
good story.
This was by, let's see, what is his name? It was by Mally a Girl 1314. So
on
good-
Reddit.
kudos
Thank
to
you,
them.
Reddit.
Yeah, like it was good.
That was a good one.
I'm scared.
Okay, our last little story here is about another relationship, another couple.
Yes,
So that's terrifying.
absolutely.
That's it. That's the a relationship.
Yep.
Terrifying.
It's the scariest thing. Oh, my spooky cat's here.
I love that we have a black cat guest.
Yes, tell us how you're feeling. Amazing.
Aw.
Wow. I loved that for you. Okay. So, my boyfriend is telling me to come outside. He isn't there. My boyfriend works late hours, and when I know he's on his way to my house, I'll sit and wait for him in the kitchen to greet him. The main door is in front of me, while the back porch one is behind me. He tends to come through that one so my dog doesn't bark. He called me a few minutes ago and said he'd just left work and he's on his way. So I did my normal and sat at the kitchen table scrolling on my phone until I got the "I'm outside" text. After a few minutes of scrolling, I heard his voice. The only light outside of my house was the porch light, so I look out of the kitchen window and nobody's there. "Baby, come outside." Normally his voice is reassuring and welcoming, but I had a terrible feeling and decided to call his cell phone. His phone is a track phone that he buys service for, so sometimes it simply rings twice, which is what it did every time I called. Eventually, I gave up and stepped into the back porch to look outside. Maybe his phone died and he needed me to unlock the door for him. I could feel my heart drop when I remembered the door was unlocked. I started to text him asking him to answer his phone, but while I'm doing this, the voice turns from a gentle tone to an angry one. It yelled my full name and told me to come outside.
Ooh.
Yeah, if you use a middle name, like, you're just, like, not happy, so
No.
I wouldn't be
I don't like
responding.
that.
Yeah.
And a scream, like, out of nowhere.
Yeah, like, also don't talk to me that way.
Yeah,
Like,
excuse
F
you?
Yeah. Not coming now.
You're about to be real afraid of me here in a second.
Right, like, I'm the real monster now. Okay. My boyfriend never calls me by my full name, and at this point, I'm starting to feel scared. I looked outside, and it now knows that I'm not in the kitchen and that I looked out of the back porch window. I call him again. After what felt like hours, he answered in a concerned way, apologizing because his phone was on vibrate, as well as it not working. "Why are you telling me to come outside?" Those were the first words I said. There was an immediate silence over the line. "What do you mean? I'm just now on your road."
Oh.
He sounded worried, but I could tell he thought I was pranking him. The voice was getting angrier by the second. It cussed at me and eventually started banging on the door. It was so loud that even my boyfriend could hear it over the phone. I heard the car speed up and then the sound of gravel from him pulling into my driveway. I finally mustered up the courage to move the curtain and see if there was anyone really there. There was nothing there, but I could see him running up the stairs to get me. Once he got in the voice and the banging came to a complete stop, I stood shaken while he looked around my yard only to see a deer running away in its hind legs, just for the front two hit the ground in front of it as it went into the nearby woods. So a deer ran on its two legs. And then when it got to the woods, it
was like running like a normal deer.
Yes. We didn't sleep much that night, and eventually we plan on moving somewhere that's closer to the city as my house is out of the way for other people. That's it. So, Skinwalker, right?
Definitely Skinwalker.
Skinwalker.
Does this mean maybe we do a whole episode
On Skinwalkers?
on Skinwalkers?
Yes. Doesn't everybody want that?
I think that's like a foreshadowing of the rest of spooky season right there.
Skinwalkers are terrifying to me.
Honestly, like it's something that I'm just like learning about, I guess.
Really?
Like this year I think is the first time I really like heard stories about them, and I'm still not completely like
Right. I first heard about them. My husband's friend came over for dinner and we were catching up, and then like my husband went to the bathroom and for some reason we started talking about like the dark, I don't know, and like being scared of the dark, and like that's when he mentioned like, oh, when you think that you see somebody in the dark, it's a skinwalker. And I was like, what the heck is that? And then he sent me a little bit down a rabbit hole, but I haven't gone as deep as I could. Like I could do some research, you know.
So I think for our next spooky season episode we need to go deep.
I think skinwalkers.
And we need to like research all the skinwalker stuff.
Yeah, and find some like personal stories about it as well. And maybe some origin, you know, something.
I live in like a very wooded area.
Yes,
so
same-ish, kind of.
Yeah. I think we're at risk.
We
need to be educated.
They say that if you hear screaming, oh no, I wish I could remember, is it's either you walk towards it or away from it. I cannot remember.
Definitely away. I would think away.
Well, I don't know. I feel like there's some weird thing. It's like the closer, it's actually like misleading you.
Oh.
Yeah.
And now we don't even know.
Oh no. I will find out in the research, everybody.
What if we stand still? What if we don't make a decision?
Yeah, because I feel like it never comes to, unless it's getting closer.
Well, if it's getting louder, then I'm moving.
Right.
But maybe that's a trap, though, and maybe
we're just gonna die.
We're done for. We need to do our research.
Trap, yeah, 100%. My cat really likes you.
I know. I love.
Like this never happens. Like, Mara, how many times have you seen this cat?
Yeah, not often.
It must know that it's spooky season, guys.
Are you here for a reason?
She's a very weird cat. My cat's name is Wednesday Catums for good reason.
I think she needs to be an honorary guest for the rest of this month. You're a spooky cat for a spooky season. Yeah. She's looking at me like she's listening.
It's your time to shine.
Are there any thoughts behind your eyes? No, she turned away from me.
It was like, bye.
Done with that conversation. All right, guys. So I hope you liked our part 2.
Yes.
Episode number 2, spooky season.
We're still praying for Benjamin.
We are. I hope he's okay. I hope he moved motels.
Agreed.
Definitely get the burner phone.
Yeah, burner phones would be helpful.
Watch your eyes.
Yeah, I would wear goggles everywhere.
That's so smart.
Right?
That's genius.
Yes, safety goggles. Like, no, swimming goggles. It's hard to get those things even on.
Yeah, those are like suction cup. Yes, tighten them real good.
Right, 100%.
Do we think we need the ones with the nose? Or like
yes, because those are the hardest to get off. Like, yeah, the eyes like ones, those are like trash when you're swimming. Let's be honest. You need like the nerdy looking nose goggles.
Oh yeah, and like tighten them real.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah. That's what
Agreed. And now we know our next topic will be skinwalkers.
Skinwalkers. So look forward to that, guys.
Yes, and if you have any experiences, DM Mara.
I need to
let her know. Maybe we'll shout them out.
Yeah, give me all of your spooky experiences.
Yes, amazing.
Right.
I know nothing about these too much, so I'm excited to dive in.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you haven't, please give this podcast a rate on your streaming platform and follow the Instagram page at _thoughts podcast. Happy spooky
Stay
season.
spooky.